extensions, and creative cutting. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the YouTube channel. I got my boy Alfredo Lewis here, Danny Tiger. We're actually gonna do a really fun makeover, kind of,
Total
transformation. Normally you see transformations where they go from long hair to short. Well, this time we're gonna add some length as well as cut some length. So we're gonna do both, okay? So I'm gonna do a very, very asymmetric look. So you see her look right now, it's already asymmetric. Well, we're gonna go even more so, exaggerate it out, and then, yeah.
I'm gonna be doing 24-inch extensions. The color is black. So Danny's hair is black. We're gonna match. We already color matched her. We're gonna give her some really, really cool placement on these tape-in extensions is what we're using today. And then Philip's gonna do his thing and cut and shape, and we're gonna give you guys a makeover like you have never seen before. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Absolutely. And before we get started, you can go and hit that subscribe button.
Hit that button. It's right there.
All right, all right.
Boop. 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 I love how she goes out of the camera shot.
All right, guys, we're starting off with the sides. Now that I made that big chunk and I took that big chunk of hair out, we're actually gonna start above the ear. So it's actually in the middle of this section here. So what I'm doing here is making sure I'm following the head shape. So if you notice, as I go above the round of the head, I'm slightly following that as well. So we're not making it perfectly square, we're slightly rounding it there. So from here, I am actually going forward. There we go. See that? Using small, I'd say about 1/4 inch subsections or so. And again, round layers. It's very, very simple, clean. So following that around, top to bottom, and look, see, I go above, around, taking that corner out, ever so slightly. So I'm leaving the actual length about double the length of finger's depth, as you can see. No point cutting or anything, just cutting it straight and clean, 90 degrees from the head. And there we go. So actually from here, check it out. Voila. See all the softness it creates? So you got all this face framing bits right there, and then a really cool sideburn. So now we're actually gonna take it from that middle part and bring it to the back. So you can see I'm sectioning off the back area so that it's a very separated pixie type feel. So now I'm going towards the back of the nape. So here we go, just following that guideline that I started at the ear. Here we go. And again, let's round that part out. That's the very important part, because otherwise you're gonna get this very square blockish hair, and that sort of takes away the femininity of it, the softness, if you will. See, what I do is after I cut, I constantly play with the hair back and forth to make sure that I'm getting the effect that I want. If it's a little bit too much, I'll cut a little bit more. If it's not enough, I'll leave it a little on the longer side. But look how much hair is back there. So we got to get rid of all that. And if you notice, I'm not cutting clean around the ears. See that? The whole idea for this type of pixie look on the side is that you want to leave it shaggy, because shags are in, no matter how short or how long the hair is. Textured shags are kind of the thing. So unfinished around the ear is kind of very much on purpose here. Here I'm just adding a very, very slight point cut just as I go down towards the nape. Now the idea behind this is I'm leaving it square. So as soon as I stop at around the occipital, I'm no longer doing perfect head shape, I'm actually doing square. Now why? Why would I do that? Because I actually want pieces a little bit longer towards the nape so that they can sort of either lay really closely, softly on the neck, or they can kick out and look kind of messy at the same time. You want to make sure you have that length to play with. That's why I'm point cutting. So you can see here, point cut, there it is, blending it into the sides. There we go. A palm to palm method there. All right, letting go, and you can see the actual softness. You see it? See, I didn't want this blocky, again, shaggy, short, messy. And you can see here, I'm pulling it out square, not necessarily 90 degrees. See that? Perfect, nice and soft. So the hair is still wet, so the idea is we're gonna go ahead and take it and start drying. So what I'm doing here is just using my hands and the comb, so natural fall, and just using how the hair would naturally dry. I'm not trying to put any volume in it or make it too flat, just sort of molding it and making sure it's dry. So from here, I'm actually just lightly texturizing it, because you can see this type of hair texture, it's very dense. So now that we have the length we want, I'm just filtering out extra weight by using the 20% texture shear. And I'm at woof shear, oh yeah. So yeah, just it's called channel cutting pretty much, just walking the scissors right from the scalp. This is a very much a freehand movement. So now you can see it's very soft. Now look at this though. I actually want to frame that a little harsher, right? So what we're gonna do is, I like that hook on the top, and I like the hook at the nape, and I like the hook at the sideburn. So to show that off even more, we're gonna do a little bit of carving. Okay, so let's see, there we go. See, we slightly carve just around that C curvature, around the upper cheekbone area, towards the eyebrows. Let me just tell you guys, this is the money. This is the money piece right here. This is what really accentuates face shape, even when it's short. Now, it's time for you, Alfie.
Guys, extension time. Here we go. It's time to put in those extensions. I'm actually using Bellamy Hair Pro extensions, shade number 1, jet black, black on black.
All
because
black
why?
Everything.
What does Danny want?
We like to keep it black, all black everything.
And she wants those inches.
Give me those inches, honey.
As you guys see, I like to keep it about 1/4 of an inch away from the scalp, taking those thin sections, laying it on top of my extension, and I like to sandwich them. Taking the back of my rat tail comb and just kind of setting it in there. See Danny, she's such a good helper. Putting that top piece on, really going around to the curvature of the head and making sure that that seal is tight. Combing it over. I was going around the curvature of her head, as you see here, kind of going in like a half moon shape around her hair. I love this look on Danny. She's got that short pixie on the side, and we're giving her major inches around her hair. It's gonna be sexy, and then Philip's gonna come back in and work his magic, obviously, and cut these extensions into that side shag pixie that he's got going on the sides. Look at that hair, guys, gorgeous.
Woo!
Danny
Yes.
colored her hair with, I believe, obviously jet black by Matrix before we came in and put in these Bellamy extensions. Look at her, she's already feeling herself.
Feeling like that
And
dark
here we go,
Rapunzel.
back to my brother Philip, passing it over. Now it's time for him to cut these extensions into the cut that he did before.
Right, now guys, check it out. The hair's dry, and that's how I'm cutting it. So basically, you can see I've over-directed all the hair towards the left side. And then I am walking the scissors down so that I can have a very much a short to long feel. And then I'm actually creating a point. So I'm going to the other side and doing the same thing. Many of you may recognize this move. It's the dry version of the face frame carving that I like to do. And this one is a little bit more extreme because look how long the hair is. This is 24 inches of hair. So the key to this is keeping the blade a little more parallel to the hair and just carving it down. Very controlled motions is what you want to do. See, pointing the scissors all the way down to the very much of the bottom of the length. And following through and cleaning up even more. I wanted to make this as dramatic as possible. So we're creating that point towards the right. That way you have that asymmetric feel. So here we go, just playing with the hair. Now what I want to do is release more weight. Okay, so we're layering. This is something that you got to be very careful with depending on how they were installed, because they can turn out very choppy. So the key here is you want to hold it very light, elevating it very, very high, and look at this, carving as I go through. Look at all that. Boom, gone. And well, actually, I don't even know if there's a section where you can see the floor, but there was so much hair down there.
What it is.
All right, so this is one of the last pieces here. Again, following that guide, carving it out,
Even now,
shaking out the hair, and you can actually see how much softer and lighter.
Look at
it
Danny
is.
throwing that hair. She's just feeling herself.
Oh my
Slice
goodness.
that
Oh,
hair.
look at me. I'm going for it. I'm going for it, guys.
The more texture, the better. In
That's
my
right.
mind.
So now this is her actual hair. So in the crown, you know, what girl doesn't want, volume in the crown? So you want to make sure right at that round, at the bottom, low crown and high crown, you want to over direct that hair up and boom, start slicing hair out. So that way we're not cutting the hair too short.
Oh,
Ooh, look at that.
I'm feeling that now. Okay,
All right. So more point cutting, slicing, slide cutting, a whole bunch of techniques there. Just making sure, personalizing to make sure we get that extra volume right there. And then lightly back to the regular shears there and blending into the very front. See that? Just through point cutting. There we go. And you can see it happening.
it is the world
There we have it.
It's all happening.
It is all happening. Now, the cool thing about this is it's not your usual shaved side, right? Like this is the natural progression of where we feel things are going, you know? People are used to undercuts, people are used to asymmetric, but it's now time to bring in the sort of short pixie shag feel back in. You know, it kind of brings back a little bit to the pixies of the 90s. And here we go, just, you know, filtering out more weight. This is just by feel, you know, you feel the hair, you see it, take out hair where you feel you need to. And again, we're dealing with a lot of extensions here. So we want to make sure that sort of the weight distribution is sort of as same as on her natural hair as it is on the extensions. So not only with the color match, but also the flow of the whole entire look. And here, shout out to Hot Tools, because you know what? This is one of my
That
favorite.
black and gold. You gotta give it to 'em.
You gotta get
You
it.
gotta give it to 'em.
It's the black and gold, and it's the Marcel. You know, I'm a big fan of the Marcel irons. So I'm just doing here a very, very loose. I don't know if I call it beach wave, more of a rock and roll wave. So I kind of twirl it, pull them out, and then twirl it again, and it gives you a little bit more of that spirally effect, but leaving the ends a little straighter, as you can see. So it's more of a relaxed curl. Now I'm using one of my favorites, the Matrix texture spray called Texture Builder.
Sorry. Too much
Yeah,
texture spray.
I used a lot.
Oh, and here it
Here we go.
goes.
Now we start
The
breaking it
final.
up. Oh yeah, and you can't go wrong here, guys. Just mess it up, you know? Just keep shaking it.
Well, this whole cut was inspired by the singer of the Sounds, Maja Iverson. So I definitely wanted that super badass rock and roll, vibey, shaggy feel with my short pixie with the little pieces round framing my face. But I gotta tell ya, after Philip curled me up and then started blowing that texture spray through my hair, woo-hoo-hoo! I have
Oh, man.
never felt so regal. Beyonce who?
You guys, we love doing this transformation on Danny. She's incredible. We hope that you guys enjoyed our tutorial and our makeover on Danny. Make sure that if you love what we're doing, that you subscribe to us, Alfredo Lewis on YouTube, and Philip Wolf is.
Philip Wolf Hair on YouTube as well.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so you get notifications, guys. We're gonna be throwing content at you right and left. We hope that you really enjoyed this makeover as much as Danny
Woo,
did.
I sure did.
Look at her, she's living.
She's loving it.
Praising the Lord. Praising
Thank
Philip
you
Wolf
guys
and Alfredo Lewis.
so
Thanks,
much for
guys.
watching. We really hope that you guys enjoyed it. And we had so much fun doing this on Danny. It was really, really a fun, exciting day for us. We had a blast.
See you later, guys. Until the next one.
Until the next one.
Girl, get that hair. Woo!